Hi, it's Larry here, Xbox Live's Major Nelson 557, show number 557. Thank you for downloading the show. Joining us here in the studio to my left is Laura. Hello there, Laura.
Hello, Larry.
To your left is Jeffrey.
Good morning.
And to your left is me.
It's Triangle.
Nice to see you guys. Well, let's get this out of the way right off the bat. E is not here.
Yes.
We probably saw on Twitter. I mean, this happened a couple weeks ago, so we haven't had a chance to get together. But he's moved on. You probably saw it on Twitter. After 18 years at Microsoft and shipping 3 consoles, it was time for him to move on. So I spoke to him, and he said that he is going to visit the show. He's welcome to come back when he's got news of his next big thing that he's working on. I had lunch with him the other day, and he's got a bunch of stuff in the fire. Until then, you know how to find him at the Val on Twitter, and of course, Xbox Live E.
This Icetopia is for you.
So there you go. That's what's going on there. So we'll miss you, of course, but
yes, we'll miss you very much, E.
Welcome to come back anytime. But you still have me, you have Laura, you have Jeffrey, and of course you have yourself. I want to get something right out of the way. We talked about this before we're going. So everyone says, wait a minute, E's gone. That means there's an opening on the show. Well, no, there really isn't, because I've had my email box has been filled with people saying, hey, so can I get on the show now? Now you got room? No. So we're not.
I'm sorry, Bradley Cooper. There's no room for you.
There isn't. I mean, we're the way this show has always worked for anybody who's listened for a long time is it evolves. Just like picking a little puppy in your life or a cat, you can't choose the cat. The cat chooses you. So we can't choose the host. Right. You know, the host chooses us, and it just kind of has to feel right. So that happened, of course, with Laura. It happened with you, Jeffrey. Although, actually, I think you were brought in under duress.
Wait.
Were you?
Yeah.
There was sort of like a last second thing.
No. We're gonna, of course. So, but anyway, so we're not actively looking for hosts. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing, and that's playing games.
That's right.
And this has been a hell of a week for games.
Sure
oh my
has.
God.
Now, I feel like I want to go first, but
You've been playing the most, I think, because you have certain privileges that some other people on this side of the table don't.
Can I tell you what one of his privileges is?
what is one?
Yes.
And that is when you're in a meeting with your entire team, and you're supposed to be focusing on things. It might have even been considered a laptop down meeting. You're playing Fallout.
What?
And taunting me, and I have not played it.
During a meeting?
During a
Were you
meeting.
in the room?
Let me back up a little bit. So Laura, I don't know what you're speaking of because anybody can play Fallout now.
Yes.
Anybody can play Rise of the Tomb Raider now.
Yes.
Anybody with EA access can play Star Wars Battlefront
That's
now.
true.
And they should.
And they should. So there's all these great games are out, but so what Jeff's referring to is I am playing a lot of Fallout. Are you? Well, I want to get to you later, Laura.
Yes. Right.
I am playing a lot of Fallout, and I had so I have it on my console, and I have a gaming laptop, this Razer laptop, and Jeff and I were in a meeting, and I was telling my wife this story, by the way. We were sitting in the meeting, and as you've probably figured out, Laura, you and I are not in a lot of meetings together.
Right.
Jeff and I are in a lot of meetings together. Jeff and I tend to be the two we're kind of the troublemakers.
You're those guys.
So we kind of had to get separated, more or less, in a meeting.
We were told, do I need to separate you two?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh, dear.
Before that went down, I was sitting there and I was like, I think we were at a break or something. And,
A break from listening. They kept talking.
and I fired up, I have my gaming laptop. I fired up Steam and fired up Fallout because Jeff hadn't seen it yet.
And didn't want to. I'm not ready.
I'm
not ready.
But I knew that because I was like, actually, I was kind of trolling you a little because I saw you're looking at my screen. What are you looking at? Oh, you're on Reddit. You're checking your email. And I'm like, let me open up Fallout.
Oh my God.
So I didn't get any further than that, by the way.
But
I'm playing on my console.
I know what the opening scene looks like.
Yes,
I saw 2 people.
War. It never changes.
Yes.
So anyway, playing a lot of Fallout, of course. I had a little bit of a crisis earlier in the week, and I'm sure you probably saw it on Twitter last night, Laura. You probably didn't. Did you see this?
What was your crisis? You're
What was
playing
your
Crisis?
Yeah. I lost dog meat.
Oh.
So, Laura, have you gotten to the part where you get the dog yet?
No.
Okay, so you're right.
I have only had the game for a certain number of days.
So in Fallout 3, I
a
never
minute.
got the dog.
Wait a
Everyone
minute.
was talking about the dog. I never even got him.
Wait a minute. I just want to bring something up, Laura. You made a comment earlier about me having certain privileges and access, which you're making reference to accessing games early. I was down in Los Angeles at the Fallout 4 event. I did that interview with Pete Hines. It came out that Friday. I was still in LA. I got back. I didn't start playing until Friday. So you actually had it ahead of me in this case.
Really?
Yes. I have not played it since then.
Are you sure?
So anyway, so I had a little crisis. I lost dog meat, which is your dog, and I was because what happens is you can, and maybe this is a little bit of a spoiler if you don't want to know anything, then just fast forward a minute or two. You can get different companions in the game.
La, la, la.
La, la, la. Fingers in the ears.
So I was like, oh, this particular. Well, I'll tell you one of the companions because it's not a spoiler at all. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Have you made your character, Laura?
Yes.
Okay, so you have your little. Is it Mr. Handy in the house?
Cogsworth.
I'm sorry,
What?
Cogsworth.
This is all spoiler territory.
No. Well, Mr. Handy Cogsworth is a model of Mr. Handy.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Handy is the robot, and Cogsworth is the name. So,
He is
so
the
Cogsworth
butler.
can be one of your.
Oh, you can.
Right. So I was like,
Oh.
I'm gonna take Cogsworth. He's got a flaming bottom. He's got a little saw. He's gonna be cool. So I'm like, dog meat, go here. And I don't know where I sent him.
Oh, no.
So I was like, Cogsworth, not so cool. Want my dog back.
So he's not permanently gone. You might find him
right.
later.
So long story. So I put it out on Twitter. I'm like, I'm having a panic attack. I can't find him. So I'm going to all the different settlements. I'm ringing bells. I'm building dog houses. I'm doing all this stuff.
Oh, you lost your doggy.
Cue sad music.
Oh,
And I'm
what
walking
happened?
through Sanctuary, which is the first area you find. And there he is in the doghouse looking at me. I was like, dog meat! I found him. I was so excited. So
You found him.
We reunited.
Oh,
and
you
it
thought
feels
I thought
so-
it was sad, like he wouldn't come back. to
No,
you.
no, I couldn't. It's not that he couldn't come back to me. I couldn't find him. And you
Okay.
know, frankly, I don't blame him because I kind of cast him away in replace of a robot.
Sort of like my mouse went to you.
Oh, so we're gonna
The mouse story.
talk about that. Do you want to talk about that now instead of Fallout?
No, we should probably talk
We're
about
sitting
Fallout.
we're sitting here in the studio, and Jeff has had a mouse earlier, which looks suspiciously like my mouse.
like identical.
Like
And like every
Like
time I
your
call its name, it sort of looks and then looks back at you.
And now but the problem is this is a Bluetooth mouse and it's bound to my computer. Ergo,
I think it saw your better computer.
by the Bluetooth law, by the law of Bluetooth, it's
It
mine.
knew it's your show, and it decided I'm pairing with him.
Meanwhile, as if you, dear listener, if you can visualize this, I'm sitting here looking at the notes on the screen. Laura is looking at her notes on her screen. Jeff is looking around the room nervously for his mouse. His eyes are darting
had
to
it
and
like
fro.
10 minutes ago.
he lost his companion.
Yes, so and this is
That's
exactly
my dog
right.
meat.
Thank
I'm
you.
renaming the mouse dog meat. should it ever turn back.
So it was a kind of a crazy turn of events, and so during the show we're going to be scanning the room for. Is that no? That's it. That's not it.
That's not
Don't
it.
even do that to me.
There's a mouse up there.
No, that's not it. So anyway, so playing Fallout, lost dog meat, found dog meat, having a good time with it. I can't really say anything further because I don't want to
No,
spoil
there's
it
so
for
many
you
spoilers.
or the listeners. So
Right.
so I'll
Thank you.
say I'm playing
Especially
that.
for the listeners.
Playing Tomb Raider.
Oh, it's so good.
Laura.
I have not started.
Laura.
Hey, so many
Lara, Laura, come on.
games. Lara.
You have no excuse. No excuse.
Except that there's Fallout, Halo, and a litany of other games to play. I just can't multitask.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Laura.
Mhm.
Did you get out of the vault yet?
I just almost got out of the
Ooh,
vault.
look at you! 2 hours in and you're out of the vault.
No, she said almost.
Almost. I'm at the door
Almost.
where it's like, this is the exit. And I'm like, I have to go to sleep now. I will leave it for tomorrow. And went to sleep. I didn't get out.
You didn't even want to see what the post-apocalyptic world looked like?
I wanted to savor that moment and not be tired. So it'll be the next
Respect
moment
All right.
when I play again.
All right. All right. It's Fallout, Lara Croft Tomb Raider Battlefront. If you're an EA Access member, you can get in on that. Listen, I got to tell you something right now, folks. If you are an EA Access member, you can play Battlefront right now before anybody else on the planet.
And then you get a discount on top of it.
And you play it before anybody else on the planet.
Also that.
So I was
Savings in time and savings in money.
We played it the other night. Trite and I, who you've heard us talk about on the show, he's one of our video producers, Ryan Trite. He and I played last. We looked for you.
Last night,
Yeah, what happened? Because remember we play at 9. You're like,
I'm trying to beat Tomb Raider before
okay,
I go away.
All right, see, okay, I
I'm so
respect that.
close. I'm so close.
So anyway, we were playing it last night. We're in this match, and he and I, we're in a party. We're playing. We come around a corner, and there was this epic match between Darth Vader and Luke,
Oh,
and they were going at it. We were like, ooh, the lightsabers. It was unbelievable. I was so speechless. I forgot to record it.
so you've gotten to use Luke.
We did.
What does he feel like?
We did. So Laura, earlier this week, Jeff and I streamed Battlefront, and as lo and behold, I got to be one of the heroes. We were trading off with the controller.
Yeah.
And I got to, it felt awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I was doing force push and crazy stuff, and
Oh, you were in an ice tunnel and you just like, you told them to talk to the hand,
Right.
and then they went
And
flying
went
into
flying.
the wall.
They
Yeah.
crumbled like the house of cards they are. It was delicious. So
My goodness,
anyway,
that sounds fun.
so that's kind of what I'm playing
Did
right.
you do any of the sort of training missions that
Yes, I
take you
did.
through scenarios? That speeder bike
Well,
one,
you know, I
is
didn't
really
do that
fun.
one. I only did the first one.
So ever since I was 6, when Jedi came out, and the speeder scene
the
was
math here,
amazing.
audience. Do the math.
Yeah. Please don't. I did see that in the theater. It was one of my first movies. Anyway, the point is that speeder scene where they're racing through Endor and escaping from the.
You know how they shot that?
I have no idea how they shot that. It was in the Redwoods.
They shot it in the
Near
Redwoods.
Woods?
They shot it on a Steadicam. Derek Brown, who invented the Steadicam, shot that on a Steadicam at slow speed. So the film was slow, so that when it's played back, it's faster.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Very cool.
Interesting story on that. Sorry.
So, but there's never been a game, I feel like, out of all the Star Wars games that really sort of captured that feel.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a sort of a training mission where you are with the Empire and you're trying to hunt down rebels. And I kind of like that about this game, where it doesn't really forget about the morals and who's good and who's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's you get to try both sides. And you're an Empire, a stormtrooper, and you're on a speeder bike and you're weaving through trees at very high speed and shooting down rebels, and it feels really good.
Awesome.
And you can do that pretty much right away. It's not competitive as far as I can tell. I don't think there's like a 40-player speeder battle, but it's just sort of a scenario that goes for like 3 minutes, and it's really fun.
One of the other big, we'll get to you guys and what you're playing, but before we get too far into the show, or almost 10 minutes, and I want to talk about the fact that we also had the new Xbox One experience and backwards compatibility shipped this week.
Oh,
What? So we don't want to spend too much time on that because we have Mikey Barr from the Xbox engineering team is going to come by later on in the show. I recorded this interview when we launched a couple days ago, and he is going to tell us all about that and give you a little peek behind the curtain for back combat.
Really?
Just a tiny little.
The beautiful thing came home yesterday, and it had already taken the update on my
Yes.
living room Xbox.
Yes.
And
Now this was a massive update. This wasn't just for stability.
yeah,
Right.
and my wife was
UI
like,
is
"Ooh, it's
completely
different.
different.
I
Yes,
like the
very
up and down." And then I went over to My Games and Apps, and I slid all the way over to the right to the Ready to Install section, and there were games I forgot that I even bought.
On Xbox
Like
360.
from 360, like Call of Juarez Gunslinger, Might and Magic Clash of Heroes HD,
Luminaire.
Luminaire,
Yeah, Luminaries, is that the one?
Luminous.
Yeah, Luminous, that's
I
it.
don't think I had that one,
Oh.
but there was stuff that I didn't remember
been a
that it's
long
just
time ago.
it's just
I remember
there,
that game.
and I just Just Cause 2,
Just Cause 2.
Yes.
Just Cause
Just cause.
Castle Crashers is on there too, right?
Castle Crusher,
Yes, but I also have for the Xbox One.
Yes, I know. you
Battle
do.
Block Theater.
Battle Block Theater.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff there. So for those, again, we don't want to go into it right now because Mike will come by and tell us all the details about it later.
One quick thing, I did
Yes.
see some people asking questions, and they were like amazed to see it happen. That your saved games, if you had a game in the cloud, even if it was a couple of years ago, when you download it, it will come back to you. It will like a mouse that should have came back, like dog meat did.
Oh, here we go with the mouse. So we'll talk about that later. It's quite exciting what we're going to do there. Also, I think maybe by the time this is posted, probably not by the time this is posted, I'm working on I did this for Xbox One. I put up a Photoshop template that you could download and you could put in your own background.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that? So I have one for the new Xbox One
you
experience.
do?
I do, Laura. Come on.
Have you posted it?
I don't know if I have it ready. I just need to write up the blog post and get it posted. So if it's not up by the time the show is up, keep an eye on my blog at majornelson.com.
You have a blog?
Yes, your turn
There
now
we
to
go.
pick up that mantle, Laura.
Thank you for pointing at me.
and I'll make sure that you guys see that. So I just want to let you know that. All right, getting to what we're playing. Laura's playing Fallout. She's almost out the vault,
I'm
ladies and gentlemen. Almost out of the
almost out of
vault.
the
Can
vault.
you feel the anticipation? I can, and I'm going to go to bed. That's the way it works, huh, Laura?
Hey, it was late. I was really sleepy. I wanted to savor the moment.
Okay.
When you exit the vault and the light hits your eyes, you wanted that. You wanted to wake up and actually be sleepy in real life
Yes, and be
to
like,
see it.
oh, the new or old or whatever world is awaiting me.
Did you go into the overseer's office?
Yes, I read the entire terminal.
Of course you did.
Of course I did.
Did you see the gun that's in the case? The weapon?
I saw that I couldn't get into it, and my character said that we had to come back later.
I read online.
Really?
Because this is a living.
Killing me.
No, listen to me. This I don't think this is a spoiler.
Okay.
I read online that this is one of the reasons
Gathered around, you're watching.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, you were locked in.
I was locked in, and I did okay.
Yeah.
I did okay.
All right.
I can play games.
You blew some stuff up.
I blew lots
It's
of
hard to
stuff.
tell in Just Cause if you're doing well. It's just stuff is blowing up.
Nice.
I'm like, I guess that's what you
So
do.
lots of games coming out if you own an Xbox One. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you don't own an Xbox One, now is a great time. In addition to this, sounds like an ad, doesn't it?
It does. You
I think it is an ad.
But it's a great time because we've got this amazing collection of titles that are out now. You heard us talk about some of them and a lot of bundles. And I'll tell you this, we're going to have a lot of bundles for sale on Black Friday, the big holiday here in the United States. And I'm sure there'll be available other deals around the world. So we've got that. I also want to do another public service announcement. I know you want that new Elite controller. I know you can't find it. We know that people want them. We're getting them into stores as quickly as we can. We'll hopefully be back. You'll start seeing more of them in the beginning of December. So
Ooh.
There's no going back. It's getting upgraded to first class, and you never have to leave.
Oh no, it's
Right.
one of those things.
It is, because when I'm bringing it with me. I traveled with it when I was gone. I was in San Francisco last weekend, and I knew that I would be able to use a regular controller, and I was like, yeah, it comes with a nice case.
I guess it's the launch list of over 100 games earlier this week.
104 games.
104 games. A lot of folks are saying, but my favorite game, X or Y or Z, isn't there. How do I get it on? And why don't you tell people what they need to do and kind of how the process works?
Yeah, the easiest thing is to go up to user feedback, continue to vote. We have a whole backward compat page there where you can vote for your titles.
Right.
And we look at that. We absolutely go through that list and say, what's the top, X games that people want.
Yep.
We contact publishers. We show them that list so they see the visibility of that. And then we work with the publisher to try to get the game in the program.
Yeah, and it's important to note that that's one area that we focus on, but it's not like, hey, just because it's the top one mean it's going to get on instantly. There's a lot of paperwork and conversations that have to happen.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
There are some cases where maybe a publisher or a game no longer has the rights to the music or some of the assets in there
Right.
in a particular game, and that becomes very complex. And
Yeah.
so that's why some of those may not be there on day one or shortly after.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reality is that, we have this beautiful process, this backward compatibility program, but we don't own the IP of all the games.
Yeah, I wish we did, but no.
So we have to go work and make sure that we find the right people that legally own the game so that you can play your games. And it's real simple. Why don't you go through how it works? A little bit of, I have this disc. What do I do?
Yeah, so if you're a consumer and you have a disc, well, first, if you bought it digitally,
Yeah.
at noon on the 12th,
Yeah.
it'll automatically show up on your Xbox One in the ready to install
November
section.
12th. So if you just scroll over to the right-hand side there, you'll see the artwork, and it has a little Xbox 360-esque artwork. And
Absolutely.
just click on it, and away you go.
And it'll install it and you're good to go.
That's if you bought it digitally, like Xbox Live Arcade titles and things like that.
Yeah. On retail discs,
Yep.
if you have a disc that's in the program, you'll put the disc in your console, you'll download the game and immediately be installed and you'll be able to run it. And
Right.
once you run it,
Right.
you have full
Tickets. I'm like, there's 2 left. So we get the 2. All right, so it's at 7:00 Thursday night. We can see the theater. Let's just walk over there, walk through the mall. We go through the mall. There's this beautiful display of the Omega watches from all the Bond films. So it was really kind of cool. So we go through that. We go to the other side. We go to the theater, and it's like 5:15 because we're not going to stand in line.
Yeah.
I hand I walk up with the receipt. I hand it to the guy. He looks at me. He looks at the receipt. He's like, "Why are you here?" I said, "For Spectre." He says, "It doesn't start till 7." I said, "Well, isn't there a line for a digital copy of Halo 5 and Tomb Raider?"
That's great. Great
And
price package.
I'm going to throw this in as well, Jeff's mouse.
If you can find it, you can keep it.
So, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to Name Withheld by Request.
Yes.
And I don't think I paid off what the game actually was.
Yes. Escape It, The Walking Dead.
That's right. It
The
was the
Escapist.
Escapist.
What's wrong with my tongue?
The Walking
The
Dead.
Walking Dead.